Well, hello there. This is Retro Spirits Gaiden, and this is Dynasty Wars 2, Warriors of Fate. This is the Sega Saturn dashboard with the Sega logo. We're flying through space with a robotic frog. That's what that dashboard looks like to me. It just looks like a robot frog with cubes for eyes. This is the Capcom logo. Gets half drawn before it explodes. Comes back fully formed. In low-res FMV. Lovely. This is a side-scrolling beat-em-up where you can pick one of 5 characters to mow down thousands of identical-looking enemies until your eyes and palms and thumbs and everything else bleeds. It's really hot today. I can't take this heat, summer heat. It's affecting my brain. We have a map here of some country. With some numbers. There's some handy numbers there, 2,200 and 400. That's all you need to know. We have what's going on here? Is this 3 people and some blood? I can't work out that image. It's got some crazy perspective on it and it's not drawn very well. We have Phoenix Wright from the courtroom yelling at somebody. That's odd. And we have the logo again. So that was the intro. The intro is in Japanese. No idea what the story is. So, got bare bones option screen. We're now loading again. Would I rather had Final Fight on the Saturn? Probably. But you know, this is alright. This is fine. I'm not very good at this game. Haven't got a lot of practice in it. I usually pick the blue guy in the middle. He seems to be like the all-rounder. But I'm going to pick the green guy at the end because he's bald and he's got a beard. Looks like he means business. And he's going to come to town riding a horse. So this was a game that came out on the Saturn and PlayStation at the time, I believe. And I don't know if there's any differences between the two. What I do know is it's alongside a lot of Capcom's games. Fairly repetitive hack and slash, fair, but you do have, in this at least, the ability to do some Street Fighter 2 style moves and ride a lovely horse. Oh, what a lovely horse. These guys with spears, there's a few different variants of those, and they tend not to want to attack you on this particular bit of the level. Instead, just walking onto the screen, looking only mildly threatening. Sitting on the horse does help you dispatch enemies rather quickly. You can charge with the horse as well, which is handy. You can get knocked off the horse and the bad guy can get on the horse. That's a nice feature. But yeah, as you can see, the presentation of the game is actually not bad. The graphics are alright. The music, as is common with Capcom games, is largely forgettable, apart from things like Golden Ghosts. This is just like a generic warbly kind of a tune. I'm sure these tunes have all got names, but this one is probably just called a generic Warble number 1. With that same horrible trumpet noise they always use on Capcom games. I just did a blue flamey move there. That was one of my Street Fighter 2 style special moves. You have to press a button to make the horse rotate, which is a sentence I didn't think I'd ever utter in my life. To make the horse rotate. There's a guy here having a cup of tea. He's just having a picnic in a forest. You come along, ruin his day. No wonder he's peed off. He's just having a nice cuppa. Pressing both buttons together does that super move there, where he kind of waves his sword around like he just doesn't care. Oh, stabbed in the gizzard. Have I been knocked off the horse yet? I don't think I've been knocked off the horse yet. These robust looking fellas here are throwing bombs at me. There's a guy who's launching arrows. He looks slightly less robust. Ooh, there's bombs everywhere. Yeah, it throws the sprites around. It's not a bad game. It's kind of a mindless hackathon. It's quite good in 2-player mode. I wouldn't call any of the characters particularly memorable. It's not really, unless you know the legend or the story behind this particular period of time. I think it's based on for some reason, the Three Kingdoms stories or legends of China. I don't know where I got that from. I could be making that up. But these characters probably mean something culturally to a lot of people, and they're not that familiar to me. But it is a decent game in the Final Fight mold, and you can't argue with that. I do like a scrolling beat 'em up. This game currently on the Sega Saturn is around 60 quid for a copy which isn't in bad condition. You can also get this game on the PlayStation. I imagine it's identical. I've got no reason to believe otherwise. You can also get this on the Switch on the Capcom Belt Action cartridge. Nice jump and jump. I don't know what you call that, like a pile driver style move. Ooh, dual wielding swords. Lovely stuff. You can get this on the the Switch on the Belt Action cartridge, which has I believe five other nice side-scrolling beat-em-ups, and that'll be less than half the price of this Saturn version by itself. So if you've got a Switch, that might be a way to go. It's fairly easy to emulate all these Capcom CPS games, so I'm sure you'll find a way of doing that if you want to play it without paying any money. But as a collector's piece for the Saturn, it's alright. The front cover is really boring, it has to be said. The title screen and general presentation at the front end of this game is fairly bare bones, so they didn't really put a huge amount of effort into it. But, you know, the game itself is solid, so you can't argue with that. These guys are a bit creepy though. The way they're sort of holding their arms out is very odd. I do like the old jump and pile drive move, that's quite fun. Yeah. It's not. I wouldn't say it's a super difficult game, but it does throw a lot of people on the screen at the same time, which is awesome. Which is, you know, that's fun. But I don't see myself one credit clearing this anytime soon. Although I sort of nearly made it to the end of the second level without losing a life, so that was quite good. It seems to drop the food quite a lot, which is handy. It reminds me of a bit of a mashup of the Dungeons and Dragons game and Final Fight. So that's okay. That's alright. I do wish they'd have converted Final Fight or Cadillacs and Dinosaurs there instead. That would have been awesome. But this isn't bad. Not bad at all. Is it worth 60 quid though? Well, that's the sticking point. You're probably not going to get 60 quid's worth of fun out of it. If it was half the price, I might say it's worth a punt. But as with all retro games, they're ridiculous money these days. Pick up the gold. Lovely. Just boom in the ass. Can't believe it. Right, so yeah. It's not bad. Is it worth 60 quid? Probably not. So, you know, as a game I recommend it. As a purchase, maybe not at the moment. Hopefully it'll go down in price. The Capcom Belt Action on the Switch is very good. I recommend that. That's about 30 odd quid, and this game's on there. If you don't have access to a Switch, obviously, like I said, there's emulation. But we don't talk about that on this channel, because this is about owning retro goods. I believe I can pick up that axe and dual wield with that axe. Dual wield. There we go. Bit of blood splatting there. Lovely stuff. Oh, guy on a horse. Made a rude entrance. Thanks for your horse, mate. Oh, I saw him throwing a bomb at the back of my head. Donkey punched me. Just slapped me silly. Yeah. So that's Dynasty Wars 2. Decent. Expensive. That's retro collecting. Alright. It's alright.